Hey everyone, welcome back to NYC Innovates. I'm Chris Castellino. When it comes to arts and culture, nowhere does it bigger or better than New York. Artists here are embracing new digital tools to take their craft to a whole new level. So for our next segment, I caught up with the Tony Award-winning sound designer of The Outsiders, Cody Spencer, and visited an amazing cinematic 3D experience at the Mercer Labs Museum of Art and Technology. Let's go. The Bernard B. Jacobs Theater is where we're heading next. The energy of a Broadway live show is exhilarating, can spark your imagination, and leave you feeling inspired. In addition to talented performers, a successful production requires a skilled crew in set design, lighting, and sound. So for a closer look behind the curtain, I caught up with Tony Award-winning sound designer Cody Spencer of the Tony Award-winning Best Musical The Outsiders for an exclusive look at how audio is used to bring the magic on stage to life.
My big goal is to sit in every seat, any place in the house, and really just make sure that everyone is having the same experience. We need to make sure we take care of the cast, make sure the cast is hearing what they need to on stage, making sure the musicians have everything they need, and then dealing with all the sound effects, and just constantly just reacting to notes, and then just trying to get the best, cleanest sound possible.
The musical, which depicts rival gangs divided by economic status in 1960s Tulsa, is based on the novel by S.E. Hinton, released in 1967, and the 1983 film adaptation directed by Francis Ford Coppola. However, it was the score, written by folk band Jamestown Revival, that most influenced Cody's vision.
The music is really what drove me in this show to make the decisions I made. It's very Americana, kind of folky feel. We wanted everything to be very simple, so we kind of started there, just looking at how we're going to build the system to make it so we can have a very intimate sound without just being like in your face, really loud all the time.
Unlike most Broadway musicals, The Outsiders isn't a very loud show, with both intimate and dynamic moments that build from scene to scene. To execute a tasteful mix and bring the audience into the story, Cody leans on production tools from companies like L Acoustics to set his ideas in motion.
With L Acoustics, which I use for most of my shows, they have a great prediction software called Sound Vision. And what Sound Vision does is we take the room and we draw the room in this software, and then I just start placing speakers and we start building it there, and I kind of look at the coverage, look how speakers are interacting. I'm able to really pretty much emulate as if I'm sitting in this seat, it's gonna sound exactly how I want it to.
You may not be familiar with L Acoustics, but you've definitely heard them. The company's line of products are used globally, including Adele's popular Las Vegas residency, music festivals like Coachella, and even the Super Bowl halftime show. The company has been pushing innovations in the live audio space for the past 40 years, says CEO Laurent Vassi.
Until now, sound was really thought of as almost utilitarian. Just make sure that everybody can hear well and the sound quality is good, but nobody really thought about, how do I want the audience to hear the sound? Do I want the sound to move? Do I want it to be static? Do I want to follow the performer? We really open up a range of creative possibilities that was not possible with sound before.
L Acoustics' proprietary Elisa software, which allows sound designers to map sound effects and music in a 3D immersive way, played a significant part in the Tony-winning performance.
Just like a spotlight's on an actor, the audio follows the actor, so that in the moments where there's a whole bunch of stuff happening, you know where to look because you're hearing the actor in that location. We're able to make different zones, so we'll have the vocal straight down the middle and the band kind of a little bit wider, but then a band solo happens, the band goes down the middle, and then the vocals kind of spread out around you. Our main PA is the L2s across the front. We have 5 arrays. That is really where we put a lot of the vocals throughout the whole show. We have a whole lot of space up around to put all of our surround speakers in. And it's kind of really tall and wide, and the under balcony kind of feels really nice. If you see, there's a lot of speakers, a lot of delays to kind of give every zone in the area the same feel that you have out here where you're getting all the main speakers. Pretty much any seat you're in, you're hearing 360.
The audience is also invited on stage thanks to Cody's original use of sound effects. especially a memorable scene where protagonist Ponyboy gets dunked into a fountain by rival gang, the Socials.
We wanted everyone to feel like, I'm Ponyboy, I'm getting my head dunked. We have a whole bunch of layers there. I think there's like 20 something layers of sound effects there. You know, you have the splash of him going under, you have the sound of underwater, of being underwater, which is just kind of like an atmospheric sound. Then you have the muffled sound of the voices that are above the water. With Eliza, we're able to really encompass, you know, the room with audio, and it really just like sucks you in a whole lot more than most shows do.
By pushing the technical boundaries in theater sound, it's no surprise that Cody took home the Tony for his work.
The community really embraced me a whole lot more than I expected, and I was really surprised. Apparently a lot of other people were not surprised that I won the Tony, but I was very surprised. So it was just an amazing experience.
After 15 years working on Broadway, Cody continues to bring a fresh perspective to new stages. He's currently working alongside Grammy award-winning producer Jack Antonoff on an upcoming musical adaptation of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
This size show, which is a very large musical compared to a regional show I do, compared to a little tiny thing I do for friends, it's kind of all the same thing. They're all, you know, I always want to put my best foot forward and have the best design possible, no matter what level we're at. And, you know, as you get higher up, there is more pressure, more producers, more people looking at you. I just constantly try to do the best no matter what I do.
Let's dive into the latest in art and technology at Mercer Labs. The intersection of art and technology can lead to discoveries which change the way we experience the world. By pushing the boundaries of digital photography, artist and executive producer Mariko Borogov, along with creative studio ScanLAB Projects, are setting out to show us that data can also be beautiful. I visited their new exhibition, Framerate: Rhythms Around Us, which debuted at New York City's Mercer Labs during Tribeca Festival's immersive program.
There are two things in this piece that are really important. You know, one is to really start to understand the patterns that are happening in the world and the patterns that are happening with us. But the other side of it is to really understand that this is how all of the machines in our world are seeing us right now, and it's quite a lot of data.
The ScanLabs team uses high-resolution light scanners called LiDARs, which are used in robotics and autonomous vehicles to develop large-scale cinematic 3D time-lapses.
Matt and Will, the founders and directors, started wondering, could we apply this 3D high-resolution LiDAR cinematography to time-lapse? And could we start looking at things at landscape scale, but thinking about things in geologic time and seasonal time and tidal time?
The data gathered from these landscapes holds utility for scientists to study and document environmental changes. Desert Pulse, another new project from ScanLabs, will observe a year in the life in the Arizona desert. The 3D scans will reveal changes that would otherwise be impossible to capture using traditional cameras. Borogov spent 22 years working at Apple and was on the original iPhone camera design team. By continuing to innovate digital photography, she sees the potential in future applications.
I think the biggest thing that's interesting about this is, in the same way that kids go up to a television right now and don't understand why they can't touch it and swipe it, I think in 5 or 6 years, kids are going to go up to a photograph or a movie and not understand why they can't look around something that's in that film.
ScanLabs hopes that their Framerate exhibition will challenge audiences to quantify the patterns in their own personal life.
So what we hope is that in this time where you can sit inside and be contemplative, you can start to see the changes that are happening and how those are related. And maybe you can see that the changes and the patterns that you have in your day-to-day life might have some impact too.
Coming up, this EV charger could be coming to a street near you.